that's going on. But it's a group, it's a class of y'all people that's doing it, and they're the elite bankers. If you ever hear about the Rothschild family, the Rockefeller family, John D. Rockefeller, they the families that own all the banks. And basically with that being the case, they fund all things that go on. All the colleges y'all go to, all the curriculum y'all have to learn is dictated by what the Rockefellers say. So people think medicine is drugs, but it's natural remedies. But the so-called white people that runs the earth right now, they actually are they basically just trying to kill everybody off and keep everything for themselves. You know, and they're actually the reason why all these things are actually happening. They're funding the mass, they're funding the COVID, they're funding all this stuff. Like I said, it's just to get this society to the mark of the beast, which is what they're gonna have everybody buying and selling by only if you have the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip in your head or in your forehead. Elon Musk, you ever heard of Elon Musk? Neuralink, look it up, Neuralink.
So what do you think, like, everyone's gonna get the chip?
It's right around the corner. The technology here, we got the poster right here. The technology already here.
So can you flick us up, like if us supporting you guys?
Huh?
You want to flick us up, like with your picture?
Nah, we don't take pictures.
What's the camera for?
I mean, we stream to get the message out, but you know, we ain't trying to be.
Are you streaming right now?
Yeah, we streaming.
What's the account?
Yo, they got a viewer.
We support you guys, man.
Yeah. All right, man, y'all cool. All right.
Have a good one.
Yeah. Hey, another thing too, believe it or not, y'all grandparents, they're the reason why y'all racist. Y'all finna get ready to go into slavery with so-called white people. Because that's what happened to our people according to the Bible. I have to let that be known to you. Because that's what is written for y'all in the Bible. And it's due to what y'all ancestors did. So this is y'all world right now.
We learned about it right now, like about all the racism and stuff.
Yeah, y'all ancestors set that up. So God's gonna pay y'all back. Because really this is how he gave y'all a chance to rule, right? To show his character. And while we at the bottom right now, so what's getting ready to happen, he's gonna turn it upside down. Right? And after we're running everything, y'all gonna be our slaves in heaven, our servants. Which y'all cool, so we'll see how it play out.
I got one scripture before y'all leave.
This out the Bible.
It's out the Bible. It's Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10. It says, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity."
That's another word for slavery. We had people in the slavery.
So we support you guys.
Yeah. All right, holla at y'all.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. It says, "Here is the patience and the faith of the saints." Yeah.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah. Super.
Yeah, that's all. You just saying that about the spirit, how I mean the Lord said that though, right? You know, in Ezekiel 3, he said, "Had I sent you unto them, they would listen." Right? They would listen. You know, stop the fire. Yeah, we're gonna kick it off. We already in.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, I thought so too.
Down a little bit, big sign. Yeah, a little bit low, higher. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so shalom. All right. So we back out here on the highways again, once again, down prophesying the downfall of America, man. You know, and the end of the, perpetuated oppression and slavery of our people, right? Those of the captivity, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, who are in fact the true biblical Israelites, right? The Hebrew Israelites. Before we get going, we're gonna say, call Alam La,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Wa'akudashuka.
Wadi Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua for the Holy Spirit, each that way.
Yeah.
Alright, so once again, all honor, praise, and glory be to the Father, and
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Rakhadat Shakai.
Alright, so yeah, man, that's what we out here to do. And for those of you that was just watching, the Bible played out once more, because the Lord said what? He said these nations, one, they got to drink, and they're gonna drink. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. All right. So as I said, I don't know if that picked up, but what you just seen play out was the Bible. The Lord, which is Ezekiel the 3rd chapter. Ultimately Jeremiah the 25th chapter. How the Lord said what? These nations gonna drink. They gonna, and drinking is them. Their ear being bowed down for them to receive, a message from one that's bigger than themselves. Their ear being humbled by a message that they have to receive through the one that's bigger than themselves, and that's the Most High. And that's how they're gonna be moved, man. And they're being moved. And they said when they hear that, they're gonna be mad. And also you seen that play out in you also just seen what Ezekiel the 3rd chapter played out. Me and the brother right here, the brother Mahar, he was just, I was speaking about the Spirit saying how, at least in these particular, certain areas, cheap, obviously we're in a cheap place of concourse, but ones that's like less, it's everybody, but it's like less Jake versus the ones where it's more Jake, but it's everybody still too. They don't, the ones where it's less Jake, they receiving more. And that's because that's how the Lord made it, man. Ultimately, that's how the Lord set it up, because Jake is a stiff-necked people, man. You got something? You got it.
It's Jeremiah chapter 25 and verse 13. And I will bring upon that land all my words, which I have pronounced against it, even all that is written in this book, which Jeremiah had prophesied against all the nations.
You right?
Speak on it, yeah, so that's simply what we're doing. And as the brother's saying, that's simply what is just going to play it out here. We come to speak these words of this doctrine, this Bible, the scriptures to all nations. Yeah, we was sent out into all the nations because everyone has a judgment. So it is that, we go to our own, and as the scriptures say, we won't be perceived, won't be received, as these people will, because ultimately put they in their right minds so they can see something when they see it. Although, the words we speak to them aren't going to be to their delight, because we're speaking of their downfall, the downfall of their rulership. Telling them they're going to go into slavery, telling them they're going to drink of the cup that we drunk of. But, they're open to it to receive and listen, as the scriptures told us.
That's a message that'll make you mad.
Yeah, very much so. Because the people who need this message is our very own, the Israelites. All right, you so-called black people out there. That's what this word, that's who the word is for. Ultimately. We got to give them their fill of this cup. We got to give them their drink, these other nations. But this is good news to our people. They just forbear it, man. But I'm going to keep on reading. Verse 14, it says, for many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also. And we'll come here to Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8. And it reads, behold, it says, we are yet this day in our captivity. So very much so when I was going on to say, this message is for our people, the Israelites, you so-called black people that scattered abroad. This is good news. But you got to realize and understand, we still in our captivity. You hearing the good news in your captivity. But the issue is most of us not realizing that we in captivity. We not in shackles anymore. We can afford a few things, if you will. You can go get you a car, maybe get a house, get you a nice location to be at, you know. But ultimately, we still in our captivity.
That's it's two dynamics in there, which is what? You know, a people's heaven versus another people's hell, man. You know, like that's going into what's that? ISRAELITES, the 43rd chapter, and I want to say the 25th verse. You know,
Call that again, Salaki.
43 and 25. You know what I'm saying? And then there's also we'll start with that.
Yeah, this Sirach chapter 43 in verse 25, it says, "For therein be strange."
Let me see. Jump back to a chapter 25. Yep.
This is on Sirach chapter 42 and verse 25. "One thing establisheth the good of another."
Yeah. So that's the point. Due to us being in our captivity, well, somebody will have to be the captivator, if you will.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's really to know one people's hell and another people's heaven. You know, which takes you to what? You know, when we jump back to that Jeremiah 25, but, you know, that take you to what's that? Lamentations 4. 21. You know? So because us being in our captivity, you know, you got it.
This Lamentation chapter 4 and verse 21. "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom,
Yeah.
that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee."
Why are they rejoicing? Because they have captivated the number one people that, you know, they have captured the number one people that is captured, you know, and they're eating off of them, you know, which is you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You know, us, well, they in their mirth right now, man. You know, look, that you got all of this off of them capturing us, literally. Because you got to think, they show you that movie, Endgame, Avengers Endgame. One thing, you know, when dude went to, he went back in the time machine, and basically, I think something went wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's what was going on in that whole movie. But right. They had went back in time, like, alter something. Because one thing alter everything. Right. That's why the Lord, it tells us in, that's one of my favorite reads, man. 2nd Ezra 4 and 36, I want to tell you to start. But we ain't got to get it, but it tell you how the Lord measured everything in a balance. You see what I'm saying? The times and everything. Because every increment count, man. Every piece count. So if you to go back in the past and change one thing, that'll change everything. So I say all that to say, you don't have none of this, right? Obviously us being captured, right? The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians and made enslaved, right? That's the past. But without that happening, you wouldn't have any of this, right? You see? So we know that's true. And that's exactly how you're rejoicing. Edom is rejoicing right now. You know, they got all this just simply off capturing us, man. You know? You can read it on
Yeah, Lamentations 4 and 21 continue. It says, "The cup also shall pass through unto thee."
Yeah, and that's why brother started off reading Jeremiah the 25th chapter, which we're gonna jump back to, man. That cup, everybody been made to drink, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody been made to drink. You got a body with a mouth, well, that's proof you've been made to drink. Right? All bodies with mouths, you know. That's the point, man. You know, you got an ear, you gonna drink. So I said, if any man have an ear, let him hear, man. You know? They say don't bite off more than you can chew. You know? You people say, is that a hard pill to swallow down? Is that literal? No. It's a figure of speech, man. It's the same thing with the scriptures. He said you're gonna surely drink. Was he literally talking about he gonna hand everybody Kool-Aid? You know, no. The pre-sons, no. You're gonna bow down your ear, right? I'm gonna pour out these words to you, if you will. You see? And that's what's happening. So yeah, simply, you got it.
Yeah, got a quick scripture in Job chapter 12 and verse 11. It says, "Doth not the ear try words, and the mouth taste his meat?" So as the brother said, everybody, you got ears, you're going to hear this word, and you're going to try them by tasting it through the drink that's coming, you know. And your current drink, speaking of the so-called white people who are Edomites, your current drink is rejoicing, but the drink to come is bondage and slavery and all of the things that you have dealt out into the world.
Yep, that's it. And that's why you're rejoicing, because upon doing that, like I said, you have gotten unto you mirth. You see what I'm saying? You have heaped up silver. You know, you watch the you know what they did? What they did? The ashes, man. You know what they did? The ashes. Okay, in Colombia, because Asher got those dainties. Yeah, and one of those dainties is what? Emeralds, man. You see what I'm saying? Asher they can't even reap the fruit of that. All that work they make them go on those fucking mountains. They be inside of mountains, like in the ground, in the earth, inside, where it's like hot.
Yeah, miles deep.
And they can't take nothing. You know? They can't take anything, man. You know? And who holds all the earth's precious, you know, stones, precious minerals, precious metals, and you know, damn so-called white man. They tell you that, Job, since you there, you might as well go there. Go 47. You know? Start at 14.
Job chapter 27 and verse 14. "If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread.
Yeah.
Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. Though he heap up silver as the dust."
See? And the silver is what? It's a metal. It didn't fell out of the range of being a precious metal, but really it hasn't. You can say about gold and silver, like push out, stand sure. Say that in the Apocrypha, man. You know, it's just not as popular, if you will, in certain people's opinion, because there's a lot of things that's coming out of the earth right now. You know, a lot of truth springing up, man. You know?
Yeah, kind. It says,
silver is still a precious metal based off all its properties. You know, it's useless, right?
Yep.
So it's valuable, but
"Though he heapeth up silver as the dust and prepare raiment."
and the dust goes into what? The earth. You see? They tell you that in Sirach, the 33rd chapter. So that's how we know he holds all of, they say he heaps up silver as the dust. This is how we know he holds all the silver, which is the precious metal, you know? Because why? If he heaping up silver as the dust, well, the dust is the earth. They say the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. You see? So he got all the dust. He got all the silver that is to have, you know? You know, more than you can imagine. He got what you can imagine, you know? Poured it up, though. You know, look up pictures of Queen Elizabeth, you know, damn, the so-called royals. So-called royals, I'm not sure what's up with that. The so-called royals, you know, you see them in those vaults. They got all those, you know, what they got heaped up, man? A bunch of precious metals. You see, you got it.
Yeah, quick scripture.
Okay.
Genesis 27 and verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. So this is Esau receiving his blessing from his father. And Isaac, who was his father, blessed him and told him that his blessing would be the fatness of the earth. You know, and let me back off what the brother's saying. They heap up silver as the dust. You know, so they have these things stored up. And the fatness, that's the very fatness. That very same thing is the fatness of the earth. And fatness is ultimately an excess of these things. So they have all these things stored up in an excessive amount.
Nutshell, all that the earth has to give, he has.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll jump to Psalm 73.
Yeah, time.
73 starting from.
Fatness of the highest.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah.
You said it started 4?
Yeah, where you want to start it?
Okay.
Started 3.
Time. Psalm chapter 73 and verse 3, it says, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm.
Ain't no bands in their death. They don't die slaves. You know?
Yeah,
They don't die being known slaves. They're actual slaves, but they don't die like that. Jake leaves slaves, born slaves. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Jake ain't no horrible slave. It's just Jake dies as known as a slave and is born as being known as a slave. But really, that's just amongst popular belief or popular consensus, popular perception. But really, there's a hidden perception no one wants to talk about, and that's how people know to actually be, you know, and that is the children of, you know, Israel, you know. Go ahead.
And if I could add too, it says, it also the fact is, going into like the point we was making about the fatness, they're able to leave an inheritance, if you will, to when they leave behind. So when they leave, they're not leaving those behind them empty.
That slaves. Really? Yeah, come. You got it.
Come. It says, they are not in trouble as other men.
Yeah, like the brother said. Go ahead.
Neither are they plagued.
Due to the reason why the brother said. Go ahead.
Come. Neither are they plagued like other men.
That's one of the reasons. The ultimate reason is because this is their world. Go ahead.
It says, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain.
You can't be oppressed in your own world. That's what Jake got to get through their head, man. And that's what Esau don't want to admit. You know, Esau's world is code named as white supremacy. Yeah.
Yep, it says violence covered them as a garment.
Yeah, and that's how they will procure themselves what? The fatness of the earth, as the brother just read. So, you know, and for them to really elevate that blessing, they gotta really get violent. Esau gotta perfect that sword. Esau shit like, give me 3, 4, 5, 7 swords. Let me build a new. It's like all in one. And that's how he been doing it. And that sword did what? That sword came as an eagle upon those that was in America, man. You go to the Hosea, I want to say the 6th chapter, you know? And that did what? That captured the people that was yielding a good portion of the earth's yield. You see what I'm saying? And that was the so-called natives in America, right? The so-called Latinos and Native American Indians that were in America doing what? They was holding a lot of the precious stones, precious minerals and metals, right? And then Esau would do what? He would have come. He would stuff that out, you know, and he would come pull up on those he's getting ready to capture. Before he do that, he would have them teach them about the land. He would have them teach him about the land. You know, in every facet, man. You know, that nigga hold all the herbs, medicine, everything. That's how he make all the witchcraft. Because the reason why people think his witchcraft work is because it actually get rid of shit, but temporarily. Now, how is that? Because he got the actual healing properties from all of the earth's medicines that he hoards to himself. He just takes the actual chemical and he isolated, right, diluted by putting all his shit around it, you know, to where he can sell it now. He basically, it's like you make more money off cheap labor. You see what I'm saying? That's how it goes. You know, sometimes if you want to make a lot of money, you will cut the expense. You have to cut your expenses. You know, how much it takes. You know, and that's how Jake got rich off crack. Even though I'm kind of ratting now, but that's how it go, man. Because crack was a what? It was a lesser form of the natural plant known as cocaine. You see what I'm saying? That comes from a plant. You got it? Crack was it was pretty much using like some crumbs of that plant, if you will. That ain't what it is, but it's like that. You know? To where they can make a lot of that shit and it'll still give you that effect. And niggas will still pay for it. But now they can actually make more money because they can make a lot of it for less cost to them and can sell it cheaper than what niggas was paying for some quality shit. You know? And that's the game. See, and what's that? That's drugs. Who the king at that? That's Esau. That's what Esau doing with this shit, man. You know, you take exactly what I said and put in place of that the so-called white man and Tylenol. You see what I'm saying? What garlic, right? What hell, there's a lot of them plants or medicines of the earth that yields forth the relief of a headache. You know, but I would just say garlic for one. You know, what garlic was, right? Which would be in the place of cocaine, right? Both natural, right? And people paying for it, you know, at full price, and people making it at its with the full portion of it. You see what I'm saying? But they would be smart and cut the cost, right? So to make a long story short, they take talk about this here. They take garlic, right? Or cocaine, and they come with crack or Tylenol. It's the same shit. You see what I'm saying? And notice we was just talking about what? Two dynamics? You was gonna say something, bro?
No, you pretty much, going through it, you pretty much cover what I was going to say.
Hey, it's just that simple, man. That's what Esau has done. If you can read that verse you read again one time.
Yep. In Psalm 73, in verse 6, it says, "Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covered them as a garment."
Yeah, which is how we got into it, because they would get all these things that would make one rich. Crack made Jake rich off them cutting the expense that it takes to get ones that filling off that they get off of cocaine, which is of the earth, right? That comes from a plant of the earth. And Esau got rich off of Tylenol. You know, they probably cut the video. Of Tylenol, which is pretty much cut, a play off of the feeling or relief that one gets from something natural like garlic, due to that chemical allicin in it, man. You see? Or salicin. But and shit, he get rich, man. Because he don't gotta, one, it take more time than you to make garlic. than it does to make his bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Because you gotta, if you're gonna actually like make garlic, you're gonna have to what? Talk. Yeah, you're gonna have to do the harvest. You know, you're gonna have to actually do what? You're gonna have to actually, like the brother said, take time. But it's just a lot of technicalities with it. You gotta have the land Sabbaths, all that. If you're gonna keep building for a good, you know, garlic. You know? But that nigga ain't with that shit, man. That nigga wanna get rich. Nigga wanna get rich, man. That's what he did. So he said, you know what? Fuck it. He said, let me put the sword to the earth's medicine. But let me put the sword to the niggas that got the earth, that got portions of the earth's medicine, which was the point. Right? You Jake's here, man. You so-called Latinos and natives. You know? And that's what he did, man. And they showed him how to do it. Not only did they show him how to get the earth's medicines, but they showed him how to, you know, how much gold was here, how much silver was here, how many minerals was here. All of that, man. Like the California gold rush. You know? But you got it. You got it. So he would have to what? In order for him to that goes back to his blessing, man. That's what that violence is talking about right here. This is talking about the nation of Edom right here. In order for him to really reap get the most, extract the most out of what Isaac told him, he had to really. That's why I said the heart of every one of them is deep, man. Esau, you think Esau, that this evil scientist, you think when he reads about his reality as far as how he'll get everything, which is through the sword, you think he stays at level 1, like as far as conceiving in his head that it's just a little sword he gotta walk away with? Hell no. He went into the words. He went into the left-hand spirituality of it, man. You see? That's what he did. Because think about it. How is he killing people in all these different ways? And the very ways he killing all these different people are billion-dollar industries. The prison industry, the big pharma industry, war. I say war on drugs. Everything, man.
That's another one of them double, you know, how you start at two-sided, two realms, if you will.
Yeah, two dynamics.
Two dynamics. It's a war, and then it's a war on drugs. You know, as the brother just went over explaining, you know, pretty much the way they go about drugs. There's two worlds of drugs, too. You got the drugs that they subscribe, then they got the drugs that they say on the street. You know, so it's ultimately just a complete dynamic, and as the brother said, for you to not think that the mind of every one of them is deep is a deception to yourself, man, because, you know, we can go...
You're deceiving yourself.
Yeah, we can go into all these things on deep levels, like, but I'm just talking about the surface right now. Like, every little thing we're talking about is going into each one a dynamic, and they all play it out here in life, and we seeing it, you know?
So, like Lord said, you got to give Jake milk, though. So we can go there, bro.
Psalm 73 and verse 7, it says, their eyes stand out with fatness.
See? How? That means they put that sword to use, man. He mastered it. He mastered it. He didn't just leave it at the Aladdin sword. That's why you don't just see the Aladdin sword no more. Hey, do they make Michael Myers movies anymore? No. Michael Myers is walking around with a COVID mask on right now. And a damn syringe in his hand.
Ain't nobody scared of Michael Myers.
That's the Michael Myers evolved though.
Yeah, no, kind.
Michael Myers evolved. Michael Myers is the guy with the lab coat on, with the glasses and the syringe in his hand. Dr. Fawcett.
Exactly.
That's Michael Myers, man. He an old man now.
Mr. Fawcett.
Even though, you know, Michael Myers dead, you know. Oh, the scripture say he is as death.
Yeah.
The scripture say he saw his own death. Michael Myers an Edomite. That's what you gotta remember. He an Edomite, man. I had the movie and shit. He was a little boy And then he blacked out and killed everybody in the house. It was a newer version of the
Rob Zombie version of it.
That shit was lit though. You got it?
Psalm 73 and verse 7.
Oh, the movie is about how Dr. Loomis is trying to get into the mind of this little psychotic Edomite boy, Edomite child. Talk to me, Michael. Because he blacked out and killed everybody in his home because his dad was a bug out Edomite. You know, his sister was a slur, you know, a slat, you know, and he had a little sister, you know. Esau ain't as tough as you think, man. So Michael had a soft spot, if you will. You see what I'm saying? But one day he blacked out and killed everybody in the crib and shit, killed his mom. Now he didn't kill his mom came back to the shit. He killed dude. He killed his sister because his sister used to pick on him.
Right.
And he killed her boyfriend. He left the baby because the baby grew up to be his sister, who he was in the old ones, he was always looking for. And then his mom came back and she called the fucking police and shit. They was taking him away and all that. And basically they took him to the psychiatric ward, the asylum and all that. And he had no clue what he did. He was talking to him. He was like, when am I going home? He was like, Michael, you not going home. And he was like, but why? But why? He's like, I want to go home. I want to go home. And then eventually he stopped talking. The nigga stopped talking forever. He would come see him every day. For those that seen that film, he would come see him every day and he was just sitting in front of him trying to go into the mind of him. And he couldn't get in no more. That shit went dark. This shit went dark. And then the nigga got big as hell. He got big. You know what I'm saying? That's the new one though. You'll have to watch the old ones. But that movie heavy because it literally goes into the mind of Esau, man. Dr. Loomis is literally, if you will, he's kind of like, he kind of represents our state, searching the mind of Esau. Because he had a class in the, one of the older ones when he basically, he had a presentation at one of his college courses, one of his classes and shit in the auditorium. And basically, that's what he was presenting to his students. The mind of Michael Myers. It's called the mind of the serial killer. How they think, why they do what they do. You know, and that's what Solomon was getting into. You know, how they get to that point. Why you know. Well, simply relate all that back to Esau, and the reason, and Esau's a serial killer. And the reason why we can tell you. You know? Because it's the only way Esau will be able to live. You see what I'm saying? There is no Michael Myers if he's not a serial killer. Think about it. You know? That's your life. That's your role. That's what you do. You know? You can't change one aspect about anything and still keep something that consists a certain way or exists a certain way in existence. You can't take out one piece from it. You know what I'm saying? Can you, shit, you don't got Michael Jordan if you take one of his legs. You know what I'm saying?
They go everything that comes after the 6 championships, the shoes, the jerseys, Michael Jordan today, you know.
Take away a ring.
Take away one ring.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, come on. Take away one ring. What you got? Is he the GOAT?
Right.
You know? Are we having that discussion? Is LeBron?
Yeah.
Does LeBron happen? You know, so take that little one thing and everything else changes.
That's heavy. That goes into gospel. You know, every bit of this shit that's going on that happened to us, we couldn't change one bit. We couldn't change one bit of it. You know, we couldn't change one bit of it, man, at all. But we couldn't, or I'll slide out, I don't know. But we couldn't change one bit of anything, man. You know, and still get the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't. You know, but you got it, bro.
Yeah, come on. Psalm chapter 73 and verse 7. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish for.
Yep. There it is, man. I think that's the point, right?
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
That's going into the fatness. That's going back to the excessiveness. That's going back to them procuring the earth and everything into it and taking it into subjugation and putting you Israelites underfoot.
To what? To what? To procure to themselves heaven.
Which we see.
Oh, matter of fact, go back there real quick. This is Genesis. Watch this. This is Genesis. Start exactly where you picked up from. This is how the so-called white man would get this. It was him getting his heaven. Right? And one thing established the good of another. So if this is heaven, it's somebody's hell. If somebody's captivated, somebody's a capturer or a conquest, if you will. You know? You got it. Done.
Genesis 27:39. Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above.
Of what?
And of the dew
Of the what?
of the heaven
See?
from above.
This is how he would procure heaven to himself. You see that? Because dew come from the heavens. So really you got the heavens and you got the dew. So this is how he was basically telling them how he would get heaven. See that? To do a lesson on that.
Yeah,
But yeah, man. You can jump back. What's that? Lamentation 4?
Yep.
Yep. So this is in fact his heaven, man. You know? And obviously if he got all this through violence, somebody had to be, somebody had to be the victim of it. You know? And this is how he's in his state, man, because he's eating off us, man. He got all this off capturing us. All this is off capturing us. Period, man. Eating off us. He gotta keep going to work. He has to. That's how he has his heaven. You know? You got it. Let's jump to, what's that?
You want to read it?
I'm trying to think of something else. But you got it. You got it.
Lamentations chapter 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom.
Oh, Psalms 44. Psalms 44. First got scriptures, you know. Psalms 44 started 11. Yeah, you got it.
Psalms chapter 44, verse 11. It says, Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat,
See? And
and hast scattered us among the heathen. That,
there it is. Finish the verse.
that was it.
You can jump to my brother get Bob the shop. Psalms real quick, 14. He started at 3. Actually started at 4.
In Psalms 14, verse 4, have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge? The Edomite people as they eat bread.
There it is, man. Now it's literally talking about they eating us like people, like bread. No, but they do that too. But no, they're making a living off of us. You see what I'm saying? That's how they do it. And it's living for them. It's a lifestyle. How do you think he got that Porsche or Lamborghini, whatever the fuck that shit is? You know? How do you think he got it, man? How do you think that car was made? Where does the metals come from? You see what I'm saying? Don't you know there's crystals in that car? You need precious minerals or stones to what? You need the earth to make shit function. Everything. Period. So in everything is some of the earth, man. And how did he get the earth? By taking it from every goddamn body. Mainly us. He took Egypt. Why do you think he say he the Egyptians? Why he took Israel? Why do you think he say the Israelites? He took America. You see what I'm saying? Why do you think he named it after himself? America. You know? Because he's fulfilling scripture. He had to fulfill the Bible, man. how the earth has been given into his hand. And really, he didn't even have to take it. Niggas just gave up. Most people fucking, because he just don't stop, man. I think King David wrote a scripture on that, man. You got it, Mark. It's open for you.
This is Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 14.
Yeah, man. You don't know if you need to bring the scripture out, don't even bring it out, man. You passed that point. Go ahead.
There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men.
Yeah. You know, and I say that because the Lord, he what? You speak on that. Yeah, but I say that, you know, the Lord gave us the spirit of, not gave us the spirit of fear, but of the sound mind, man. You see what I'm saying? You got the sound doctrine, you know, ain't nothing to be unsure of, man. All right? Bring it out, bro.
Yeah, kind. Proverbs 30 and 14, I'll read it one more time. Yeah. It says, there is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. All right, and it's the same generation we're talking about, this generation of the Edomites, these so-called white people we see, you know, and they procure their heaven here on earth through their ways, through their teeth, as we just read. You know, if you can bring that out again, Tazavah, what you just read. Basically saying that teeth devour us. They're not actually eating us, but through the ways of their government, their system, they keep us in this stronghold where we can't get out. And they procure to them constantly more and more.
That's and too. With them capturing us, see how she got that product in her hair? To where her hair is a different color? Exactly. She's dressed like them now. That's why they're rich. You see? So they need to capture us. Because we're gonna buy what they're selling. So now she completely American Eagle, Blue 20, whatever the hell niggas wearing now.
Exactly. You know, she devoured, man. She got ate up. You know, she part of this image now that the world is producing. So it says to devour the poor from off the earth. They want to devour us from off the earth. They don't want us to eat of the earth. They want us to assimilate with them or lay down. Because that's ultimately what's coming. You know, upon their system currently continue going. The pinnacle of their system is everybody in the world being under one world government. You know, so it's one mind. So everybody can walk around bugged out in accordance to the government of Esau and how he decides and you know, says things are to be. And that's how we get devoured. They want to devour the poor off the earth. We once had land. We once had dominion over this land. We once had all of the jewels, all of the elements. You know, we had heritage. We had our own way. But through all of the ways of the so-called white man, we've been devoured, man. Yeah, that's what I got fast. You got it, though. You can bring it out, man.
Psalm 14, verse 4. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and call not upon the Lord?
No, that's it. These people they eat upon our people as they eat bread. So when you see our people assimilating into the ways of the so-called white man, that's us being ate up. And they keep it amongst us through all of their devices, man, all the different ways. They have entertainment, they have the TV.
That's a heavy word you said. You said assimilated. When they say eat up, you gotta think. That's broad. It's broad. It's a broad word used because it is broad. The Lord is denoted. It's something broad. I mean, yeah, we've been affected in a broad way.
Many mouths that we going into, pretty much.
But they eat us in different ways.
Yeah, done.
You know, it's a lot that comes with eating them. You see what I'm saying? You're nourishing them. You see what I'm saying? They're breaking you down. You're chewing them. They're capturing you.
Okay, it is
You gotta put food in your mouth. That's like capturing the food.
Oh, that way.
They're tasting you. I mean, they're trying you. That's like what? Experimenting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is that not all found in eating? They're digesting.
I was gonna say your stomach is chemicals. You know what I'm saying? So you're being broken down through all of these ways, man. Like the brother said, that digestion. You being digested ultimately would be you coming out pretty much in their hands. You know? Because what? Yeah, I say what comes out of digestion, man? Waste.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say about it.
Disposal. You dispose waste, man. And that's why it's Jake walking around being dead pretty much. You know? That's what those dead bodies are. Yeah, you walking around, yeah, you can get around, but are you really alive, man?
Yeah, wasting those. Jake throwing away. That's why you hear wasting your life.
Right, wasting your life. Let's go get wasted. That's the song. Party, party, party. Let's all get wasted. You know?
Let's go get shitted out by the so-called white man.
Yeah.
Through the lifestyle.
Yeah, through his lifestyle. Through his lifestyle.
We become pieces of shit through the lifestyle that the so-called white man is, selling us, man.
Yeah, come. That's beautiful going to the a lesson the brother did. You know, these peons, the ways of a peon. Ultimately, is those who have been assimilated into the so-called white man. They've been ate up and they've been shitted out, man. And they continue in that lifestyle. I don't know if they even believe that they're getting life out of it, but at least they pretend so,
Oh, Jake?
Yeah, Jake. Because you definitely in the lifestyle, man. Talking about Jake, the 2/3 Jakes that are out there, 2/3 Israelites. Those of you who won't receive this word and repent. But that's your ultimate demise, is you and your mindset, and you not having a sound understanding of what's truly going on. Again, we got two worlds. We have reality, and then we have the world. Coming into reality is going to build you up to be able to walk in this place. Be safe in the matrix, if you would. Like Neo and Morpheus walking through the matrix, unscathed, because they understood what was in front of them. They understood what reality was, so they couldn't be touched by all of the imagination around them. Brothers got scriptures filled for, man.
That's exactly it. You're in reality, you're being built up. If you're not in reality, you ain't getting built up. You see what I'm saying? You've probably been, how can I say it? You're being downtrodden.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, get that in Luke 22. Luke 22, I want to say that's 21 and 26 or 28. To the land downtrodden by the Gentiles. And then get to link up with that, get Matthew the 3rd chapter and start at verse 40. Bring that Luke out. If you ain't being built up, you probably being downtrodden. Also get Lamentations 4. Not Lamentations 4, but get Lamentations, no, that's it, 4:1. Bring that Lamentations up. Come on.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 1 says, how is the gold become dim?
Yeah.
How is the most fine gold changed?
Yeah.
The stones of the sanctuary,
The what?
the stones of the
building blocks. Come on.
It says of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every city.
Yeah. Like you tried it down, you can broke it down and tried it down. Right there, we gotta build back up. Bring that loop out. And that's compared to so-called black, Latino, Native American, Indian men. A lot of you been raised by your moms, a lot of us been raised by, broken families and shit. So you just broken. You see what I'm saying? That's what you ain't built no more. Everything, every piece of us, and every aspect, I would say, every facet it's synonymous with not being built up. You know?
Everything you experience, like literally everything that's presented to a so-called black man is ultimately, in this world, is ultimately outside of this truth, is ultimately leading to his destruction.
Go ahead and bring those scriptures over.
This is Luke 21 and 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
See? And that's what happened. Esau got a hold of you through physically grabbing you and saying, motherfucker, you know, show me this. Get your ass on this boat. So now him getting a hold of you, telling you, we want you. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. In the damn army. The damn Uncle Sam culture, man. Niggas fall to that shit. And niggas actually, Jake actually go on to enlist and go on to become war nuts. You know what I'm saying? Nigga done now. That's just one way Jake broke it down. You see what I'm saying? Or have been if you read that verse one more time, the beginning part.
That's Luke 21 and 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
Yeah, that's one of the ways Jake is falling, by the sword. You see what I'm saying? And the sword is your so-called white people. You get ready to go into slavery according to the Bible for what you did, and America's getting ready to be destroyed. But in the meantime, between time, Jake will be falling. You got Jake that don't stand up for these things. You see what I'm saying? You know, Jake don't know how to move. Jake soft. You see what I'm saying? Jake, you think you tough, but you soft. You know? Ain't nothing tough about you, man. If you're not built up, you know, by this doctrine, man. You know? If you're in the testament of it is how you're moving. And that's due to, if you're not doing that, you the sword, man, who's simply Esau. You know? Period, man. This nigga got women on your mind. He got goddamn, you know, how everybody gonna look at you on your mind, pop that hole. What's that shit called? Peer pressure. Right. Those American westernized concepts, man. Fucking peer pressure. That's a thing that always existed, but that's something they really push in America. Goddamn peer pressure, dare programs. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know? So you got Jake falling, hence not being built up, or indicating you're not built up. You know, by all these different things, but simply the so-called white man. You got it.
Luke 21 and 24.
You're gonna see how this talked about Jake in just a second, go ahead.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
See? Go ahead.
Until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Yeah.
Matthew 3.
Yeah.
Start at the top.
Yeah, go to start at 4.
Con. Matthew chapter 3 and verse 4. And the same John had his raiment of camel's hair and a leathern girdle about his loins, and his meat was locust and wild honey. Then went out to him Jerusalem.
See? There it is, man. Now did the land get up? No. Jerusalem of people, man. See that? It say Jerusalem won't be trodden down. Just said that about it. Go ahead.
In all Judea, in all the region about Jordan.
See, that's the note of Jake. So it says Jerusalem will be trodden down. It's not built up. Look at the state of our actual land, and look at the state of the actual people. You see what I'm saying? Let's get Isaiah 1 and 7. We got scriptures, right? The point of being built up is really to withstand all the shit that's coming. You know, because not only was our land broken down, we've been broken down, but our fortifications were broken down. Our strongholds. That's one safety. So if you're not built up, ultimately, you're missing, and that's synonymous with your land being completely desolate and trodden down, right? That's synonymous with, in every aspect, you. That means you don't have your safety. You see what I'm saying? That means your women out of order. That means your women not at home, they out in the streets. Think about it, the land broke it down. That means fucking families not together. They broke down everything. You see what I'm saying? All the family homes and shit. So if all that happened, the Lord did have that happen to the land to symbolically represent our actual state. If you had Jerusalem getting trodden down and all of the cities, you know, blocks is everywhere, stones everywhere. Well, those were homes of families. Those were fortified cities. They're gonna watch me. Now they not doing their job no more. Ain't no war this one. Yeah, ain't no goddamn nothing, man. They're gonna the temple. Ain't no more worship of the Lord. That's exactly what you see. Bring it out.
This is Isaiah chapter 1 verse 7. It says, your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in the presence, in your presence.
Devouring. You're an Israelite, right? Yep. You said big facts. But it's big facts that, you know, everybody gonna take they gonna take heed though, man. There's so much love with their mouth, man. Lord don't deal with lip service, man. Alright? You finish that, bro? Okay.
It says strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate.
Just like they devour you. The reason why they devouring you, or the reason why the land was said to be devoured, because that was representing the devouring of you that was going to take place. And look, eating, that's a broad thing. The Lord saying something broad gonna happen to you. Got something? Lord, no, bring it out. That's a curse. Got it?
Deuteronomy 28 and 51.
Yeah.
He shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
That's it. Got it?
And the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed. Which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kin, or flocks of thy sheep until he have destroyed thee. It's the precept of Isaiah 1 and 7 about, you know, being devoured, the land being devoured,
That's
and everything, you know,
That's it.
of the land is ate up and devoured and destroyed, taken over completely.
If I could add too, he said of yours, you know, so they eating obviously of all our things, but the further is going back further to when we started. These people would go on to take all of this from us too. They coming up on our back, so to the point I'm trying to, you know, point out. The reason why they're so up is because we're underneath holding this place up.
Yeah, beautiful points. That's it. There's nothing in that too that shows you what. That made me think of something else that's found in the city, right? But will be no more if it's been trodden down. Your resources, which is the temple, because the temple is a bank. The temple, the bank. Where would those kind go? Kind dealing with, you know, flocks, right? Where would they go? They would go to the temple. You see what I'm saying? They would be kept at the temple. Where do you think Solomon got off? Matter of fact, give me the scripture, Robert Kussar, when Solomon sacrificed, I want to say that's 1 Kings 8, up to the end of the chapter. He sacrificed 20,000 sheep. And it goes into the extent of how far he, you know, or how exalted, you know, how high the state that truly is, being able to do something like that. You got it? You got to bring it up.
1 Kings 8 and 63. And Solomon offered a sacrifice of peace offering, which he offered unto the Lord 220,000 oxen,
Yep.
and 100,
Yep.
and 120,000 sheep.
Yep.
So the king and all the children of Israel dedicated the house of the Lord.
Yep. Man.
So, same day that the king hollowed the middle of the court that was before the house of the Lord.
Man.
And there he offered burnt offerings and meat offerings and the fat of the peace offerings.
Man.
Because the brazen altar that was before the Lord was too little to receive the burnt offerings.
See, that's how much he was offering. Man.
And meat offerings and the fat of the peace offerings.
Man.
And at that time, Solomon held the peace, and all Israel with him. And a great congregation from entering in of Hamath into the river of Egypt before the Lord our God. 7 days and 7 days and even 14 days. From the 8th day he sent the people away, and they blessed the king and went unto their tents joyful and glad of heart for all the goodness of the Lord had done for David his servant and for Israel his people.
It should be, where you at? You at Kings? No, it should say jump up to where you started at. It should tell you that nobody offered that king. Jump up a couple verses. Salaki was 22,000 and 120,000 sheep. 120,000 sheep. But it tell you like it wasn't nobody else to do that again. I think, you know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, that's really the point. You know what I'm saying? So that shows you what? That he state we was in, how much we lost. How was he able to do that? Because we had a bank. He had proven. What did he? Was he waiting on the mate and come? No, they was on deck already. Where? The priest had them. You see what I'm saying? Really, that was for the priest. You know, because the priest, man, you gotta think of how much smoke was in there. You know, when I read that, I just see lines of damn cattle, man.
Yeah, come on.
You know?
And it'll show you this, like the brother keeps saying, the state that we was in. Because those sheep, they would come from the people. You know what I'm saying? The people of that nation, we brought them in. So if the temple had that much, you have to imagine how much the people actually had.
Yeah, because they was on deck. So they probably was around for a minute. Shit, that's probably like years, you know what I'm saying? If you would, like, you know, that wasn't nothing. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? That clearly wasn't nothing. If he could just do it like that, we didn't run out.
Exactly.
Solomon had so much brass, so much gold, so many precious metals. They didn't even try to count how much he had because it was that much. Because he used to have that much coming in. And then he used to have the chiefest of everything coming in. To the point, he had special trips being made that only come in boats one time out of every 3 years. That's just out of one, you know, one move he would be making. And the whole nation was eating off of that. That's why when the Queen Sheba came, she was in such amazement because she was like, everybody said, enjoy it. She was like, look how your men dress. Look at the food on your table. She could literally see all this wisdom. Because she could see, I mean, the proof there. She like, I see how you moving. Like, it's all here, man. You know? All these stupid ass niggas riding around in some shit called a charger.
Yeah, I'm Hellcats.
You get charged for that your ancestors broke their back to make. You know? We invented all this shit here, man. Yeah, that's basically the point. I forget what that came from. Oh, that came from what the brother brought up. Just let me back on that. Yeah. That's why that's such a curse now. You should be able to see that clearly. Because you know how much you can actually make off owning cattle? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You say, yo, 18 of them got a, you know, you got it, bro.
So I got a quick scripture too. What you just said about the spirit, you know what I'm saying? It's a heavy curse. I got it. It's Deuteronomy 28:43. It says, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. And I bring that out just to further show that, like, we was.
Brothers got it. Bring scriptures out. You got it. Yeah.
we was in a higher state, you know what I'm saying, as the scripture has shown, you know what I'm saying, with what we had on deck, you know. So like to see our people now not having damn near shit, you know what I'm saying? Because that's who's the poor and needy, you know what I'm saying, that you read about in Psalms. You know what I'm saying? The fact that that's a thing now, you know what I'm saying, and that we can see it clearly, you know what I'm saying? Like what is it? Who fills the projects in the, you know what I'm saying? The what do you call it? The inner cities, you know what I'm saying? And like stacked, basically like crammed together, you know what I'm saying? Not having barely anything, you know what I'm saying? We had all kind of land, now we ain't got nothing, you know what I'm saying? And we're still losing it too. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's facts, because that's going back to Genesis, you know what I'm saying?
The whole earth itself. Earth was made for our sakes. But ultimately, we don't know what to do with the earth. What good is it to us? You know, that'll be us falling away from reality. Thus putting us in a state to be able to have things taken away from us that we had procured and had set up.
And also,
Got it.
to back up the brother point, this is Psalms 122 and verse 3. Jerusalem is a builded city that is compact together. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know we Israelites. Jake still like that to this day, but it's for bad reason now. You know. I got something.
It's Sirach, chapter 34. Let's see. In verse 12, it says, I was oft times in danger of death, yet I was delivered because of these things. It says, the spirit of those that fear the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, shall live. You know, that's ultimately what the doctrine is about. That's ultimately why we are out here in the cold right now. We want life, man. We don't want to have to stand out in the cold in winter in a land that we don't even belong here forever, man. We want life. All right? And it says, the spirit of those that fear the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, shall live, for their hope is in him that saveth them. All right? So this is pretty much the turning of the tables, if you would. You know, this is what you see. Brothers that came into light and are following that light, you know? Because, yeah, our situation, it went from great to completely nothing, which is what we've been talking about, you know what I'm saying? But we want to turn the tables, man. And we understand through the scriptures that is what to happen. You know, so we looking for salvation. So we putting our spirit and our hope in reality, man. And that's what we walking for, man, because we over this.
Go ahead, go back to that lamentation between Jeremiah 25.
Yeah, kind of. Just like to Jeremiah 25.
Brother he said we over it. Well, that's taking place. Shit over with, man.
Start at 15.
Jeremiah 25, verse 15, it says, for thus saith the Lord, God of Israel, unto me. It says, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it.
And the Lord, he's furious at this current situation of the earth, of the world, that he actually gave it to the hands of the so-called white man. He allowed for them to do this because he knew they would very much so play this out, which would give his chosen people, the Israelites, so-called black people, the reality of what the matter is, that these people aren't fit to serve. Well, they're not fit to govern, to rule, because this is how they rule and govern. You know, it's all deception. They rule by lies. They rule by stealing. They rule by their sword, which comes from what? Killing. All their ways are against what the Heavenly Father has set up. So therefore, he's angry, you know? And therefore he got us out, and he's sending us out amongst the earth to tell these nations that he's angry, to tell our nations he's angry. You can keep on reading.
It says, and they shall drink and be moved and be mad.
Yeah, so they go drink this cup, and this cup is the words that we just bringing out simply. You know, it seems simply, but these words, they go so much deeper. You know, it's levels. You know, they're going to drink. As the brother said, the word eat, you know, that's a broad word. The word drink is likewise, you know. They're going to drink of these words. You know, they walk past, they wave, hello. You know what I'm saying? We say these words to him, like the dude, he was not, either might just walk past. I ain't gonna say he inquired, but he was trying to look at the sign. And the brother, you know, was just he was speaking already. He just said the so-called white man going to the safe. You know, that's him drinking right there. He had to drink that.
That wasn't me speaking, that's doing my job, man.
Yeah, kind.
You know what I'm saying? Went on my way to say that.
Yeah, kind.
Because the Lord, he told us to do that. So we gonna fucking drink, man. Like the Lord, because he said you're gonna surely drink.
Yeah.
Even if I wasn't to taste it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And it said they will be moved. And they're gonna be mad. So these words that are being brought out to them, which they are drinking, is gonna move. The scriptures say that words move mountains.
Yep.
You know? So these words are gonna move these mountains. And the mountain is synonymous with what? The government. With a government, a system, a controlling body system.
Well, since you say that, go to Jeremiah 51 and 25.
Jeremiah 51 and verse 25, it says, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain.
Yeah, the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, he says, I'm against thee, O destroying mountain. And who's that destroying mountain?
Bring it out, son. Bring it out. 35 and 1. Yeah.
Ezekiel 35 and 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord.
I said who?
And say unto it, thus saith the Lord.
Who?
The Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua.
You got to declare that name, man. You got it. So,
Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee.
yeah. You devils, you gonna know who's doing this to you, man. By the men that set up to tell your ass, man. It ain't you left it at the Lord, if you will. It ain't the Lord, it's Yahweh. He's back, man. Yahweh Shai. He's back in the spirit. He's on his way back. Like they said in the movie Candyman not just to be the whole damn hive, man. You know? Meaning, you seeing multiple reminders of Yahweh Shai being on his way back. With all these so-called black men standing up, man. You know? Go ahead, bro.
And in that movie, he said, say my name.
Go ahead, bro. You got it. Time. Exactly. Back that point up. Exactly. That's it. You got it, bro.
Ezekiel 35 and 3 continue. I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee.
You got it. And he's going into Jeremiah 26.
Yeah, start from the
51 and 25.
Start from the top real quick. Somebody. 35 and 1.
He already answered it. You know what I'm saying? You said, who is that mountain?
Yeah, that mountain. The mountain is Mount Seir, man. You can read what you got, man.
Genesis chapter 36, verse 8, it says, thus dwelt Esau
They got some shit too. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of that.
in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom.
Yeah, Esau is Edom. Esau is Mount Seir. That's who the Lord said, say. That he said that he's against. That mountain that he's against is Edom. Esau, Edom, who is the so-called white man. The government of Esau, Edom. Which was the whole point, you know? The destroying mountain.
Yeah, like you said.
Yeah, words move mountains. So these words are coming down into this mountain and it's going to be moved. And the Lord also said they're going to be mad. You know, and that's why we're seeing all this chaos being said around the world by the so-called white man. because his mountain is being moved. He's being shooken up by these words. You know, he's losing his footing, if you will.
It's really everything. It's what's happening now.
You keep on reading them.
I got something real quick before we bring it out. Jeremiah, let me say that's 29. See, you don't have that. This is Jeremiah 23 and 29. It says, it's not my word like a fire, saith Yahweh, Bashem Shah, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. What's a mountain made out of? What's really a mountain? Just in a nutshell, a rock, man. So if we say words move mountains, hell, there you go. You know? Why? Because his words compared to a hammer. You got it, brother.
Ezekiel 35 and 4, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
How are you gonna know that? Because his word coming out telling you. You only gonna, as America fall, you only gonna be able to get the credit back to who taking the credit. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's why the men gotta do the work, man. And bring his word out, man. You see what I'm saying?
Period.
You got it.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred,
And then the Lord gives you the reason. Which is the reason why, we're sitting here talking about, man. For what you did. Like we told them group of Edomite, those boys that came up here, man. Little dudes, man. You got it, brother.
Ezekiel 35 and 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity had an end.
Explain it.
Yeah, time. This is the reason being, as the Lord said, this is the reason why he's bringing all of these plagues, and that's the reason why your city's going to be desolate, because of the constant trotting down of his people. They came to us when we was at our very lowest, and they took. They didn't build up. And the Lord, as the scripture said, he was quiet, but he was watching the whole time. He's been ultimately letting you build up a rap sheet for yourself, and it's a continuous thing. It says the perpetual. So this thing has been going on for years and years. It's a perpetual hatred that we see from these so-called white people, and it won't stop. The scriptures say what? I'm very sure displeased with the heathen who are at ease. We did start off by saying, rejoice and be glad, but the Lord is displeased with them for being at his state, He said they help forward the affliction. And that's what they constantly be doing, putting us further and further under, ultimately taking us further and further away from our power, away from reality, which they want to stay in and perpetuate on the earth forever. Because they believe that they're going to go on forever, in a sense. But they ultimately know that the true power is coming, and it's going to dethrone them, ultimately take them out of that place. So they're mounting up themselves and getting prepared for that. You got something? You got it.
Psalms 50 verse 21, it says, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee, and set them in order before thine eyes.
Yeah, the Lord, he's going to reprove the so-called white man. He's going to set the Israelites in order before their eyes. As we're seeing, we here now, and we bringing what out? The words. These words that are going to move the mountain out the way, man. And it's happening right before their eyes, man. Their earth, their world is ending, and our world is coming up. They're going down as we being built. And again, it's happening first in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? You see it in the spirit first, but you go see it manifest on men on high. You know, when that power is here on earth. You got it, brother Tazabah.
It says, Ezekiel 35:6, verse 6 says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
Yeah, he said he's going to prepare them unto blood, and blood is going to pursue them. You can keep on reading, so like it.
Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Yeah, it says, since thou hast not hated blood. You know, because the so-called white man, he's known as the bloody man. And you can give me, what is it, Psalms? Psalms chapter 5, in verse 6. You got it?
Psalms 5 verse 6, it says, thou shalt destroy them that speak deceit. It says, the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, will abhor the bloody and deceitful man.
Yeah, he's going to abhor the bloody and deceitful man. That same deceitful man is the same wicked man who is ruling the earth right now. So the Lord is ultimately, he got his eye on these people, man. He said, as I live it, the Lord liveth forever. You know, so this is a perpetual thing that we're seeing with the same people. You can keep on reading, brother.
Ezekiel 35:7. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men. In thy hills and in thy valleys and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return. And ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
Yeah, the Lord basically, he's just laying out his plan, man. He's going to eradicate the so-called white man. He's going to get rid of them because they can't do good. They can't get his word, man. They can't be in line, so ultimately they have to be eradicated off the earth. And they're not meant to. They're meant to literally bring forth the sword and to be basically a catalyst for the Israelites to wake up.
Can somebody explain, read that verse again? Somebody explain that verse. Basically, explain.
Ezekiel 35:9. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return. And ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
Somebody explain that.
Are you allowed to keep it overnight?
You want to try to explain?
Because if you keep it overnight, we can come to go to Walmart.
You can read it one more time. Start at 7.
Ezekiel 35:7. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate.
We're going to make Mount Seir, so we're talking about Esau.
That verse. You got it. That's
Go ahead.
the verse he was just reading. That's the next verse.
Verse 9.
That was the last verse you read. Yeah, right there.
Perpetual is ongoing. Desolation is emptiness. So America is going to be eradicated off the face of the earth. You can give me Amos 9 and 8. Because that's what the Lord has his eye upon, is the sinful kingdom. And it'll go on and explain it there.
Amos chapter 9 verse 8, it says, behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, are upon the sinful kingdom.
Yeah, his eyes are the angels and those chariots, those things that people call the UFOs. Those are the eyes of the Lord, and they're upon a specific place. This place is called America. America, or Esau's, his stomping grounds, if you will. You keep on.
It says, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth.
Yeah, so America's going to be destroyed off the face of the earth. That's perpetual, meaning forever. It's not going to come back. So no, Esau will not rise again and be able to have dominion over this earth because he's going to be eradicated. You keep on reading.
It says, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord.
And he's going to save the true believers of the Israelite nation, namely the 1/3 of the Israelite nation, the true believers who will repent and come back to reality. That was it on that? So you can read that. You can read that one more time. You got it.
So sad.
This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 8. It says, For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. It says, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. It says, from generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. That's that perpetual, you know what I'm saying, desolation.
So this place is going to be on fire forever, man.
This is Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise.
They do not rise, so they won't be coming back. And he's preparing slaughter for their children, for the iniquity of their fathers. As we was telling those Edomites who came up at the beginning of the video, you're going to pay for what your forefathers did, just as we paid for our forefathers refusing the words of the Lord and going off pretty much. And the reason why this is going to happen is because of what y'all did to the Israelites. It was a little bit more on that too.
Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquities of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Yeah, so they won't do any of these things. They won't rise, possess any land, or fill any place on the earth with cities, right? So that's that perpetual desolation is Esau being eradicated. But yeah, you got it. Come this way, son, bro.
He's adding on to the perpetual desolation. Job 27:14, because if his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. This is adding on to perpetual desolation that they won't get back up. They won't have a chance to get back up top. The children get multiplied for the sword. You know, they get multiplied for captivity to serve. They're not going to get multiplied to get on top in no form of fashion.
They won't rule nothing ever again, man. You won't have to worry about waking up and seeing Esau skipping down the street, having a good time. Just being proud, you know, sipping with
This is Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7. It says, be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. And everything we've been reading is literally what Esau gonna reap for everything that he sowed. You look at Micah chapter 2, you know what I'm saying? He devised iniquity upon, you know what I'm saying, upon their beds, going on down, you know what I'm saying, taking a man's heritage, you know what I'm saying, all these things that he did, it's gonna come right back onto him. It's also going back to that cup, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna give it to him double, you know what I'm saying? That's at the Jeremiah 51:25. He's a destroying mountain, you know what I'm saying? He about to be destroyed. That's it. He sold himself onto becoming that destroying mountain. Now a mountain gonna destroy him.
head to the brother. Come this way, bro. Man, you got it. Good time, man. Watch
Jeremiah 25, verse 15, it says, "But thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, God of Israel, unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it." All the nations is really everybody that had a hand in our captivity. You know what I'm saying? Because it's every other nation. You know what I'm saying? As Esau tried to hide it, and try to only portray his captivity over us. You know what I'm saying? To further keep us down. You know what I'm saying? And to further keep himself up.
I'll read from you.
Come on, go on.
Verse 16, it says, "And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them."
Real quick right there too, that's that, what are we seeing right now? A house divided against itself. You know what I'm saying? Because he's ultimately that sword, you know what I'm saying, that's coming back to bite him in the ass. That's what we see right now. You know what I'm saying? We see the stir up of the third woe. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, that's like one of the biggest parts to, you know what I'm saying, end time prophecy. You know what I'm saying? When the nukes hit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's ultimately, you know what I'm saying, the sword too. You know what I'm saying? Because the sword going to a killing instrument. You know what I'm saying? Luke is a killing instrument. Esau's a killing instrument. You know what I'm saying? You see, we got the track record. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Yeah, God. This is verse 17. It says, "Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and made all nations to drink, unto whom the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has sent me."
That's kind. I say, all the time.
Yeah, kind. It says, "Then took I the cup of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's hand, and made all the nations to drink, unto whom the Lord had sent me."
That's what we're doing right now. Us being out on these streets, letting these so-called white people know they want to go into slavery. Thus saith the Lord, according to biblical prophecy, according to the Bible.
Yeah, it says, "To wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah and the kings thereof and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation and astonishment and hissing and a curse as it is this day."
That's what is it? Deuteronomy 30:7. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the curses that came upon us. You know what I'm saying? Going right onto him.
Verse 19, "Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants,
So-called white people going into slavery.
and his princes, and all his people, and all the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, and all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and Ashkelon, and Azah, and Ekron, and the river of Ashdod, Edom, and Moab, and the children of Ammon."
These are all the other nations, and the Lord showing you right here too. All these other nations had a hand in our downfall. So all these other nations gonna get it too.
I hop to verse 27. It says, "Therefore thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts, the God of Israel, drink ye and be drunken, and spew, and fall, and rise no more, because of the sword which I will send among you."
That's that. What's that scripture that say? The worksman. What is it? The scripture that reads
Sorry, you talking about the potter. The workman. Isaiah 54, 16.
Wasted, that's what it is.
Come. This Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16, it says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy."
That right there, that's at the head of the sword. You know what I'm saying? He making another sword that's gonna bite him back in the ass, and that's what you see. You know what I'm saying? That's what you see in Jeremiah 25 and 27. You know what I'm saying? Because it says, because of the sword which I will send among you. You know, that's despair. You know what I'm saying? That's death. You know, and that's all the things that Esau has accumulated, you know what I'm saying, onto himself. You know what I'm saying? You see that in the world that we live in now, because this man damn near destroyed the world. You know what I'm saying? Destroyed the earth. You know what I'm saying? The earth is dying. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, because the state that we in. You know what I'm saying? That's it. We're dying because of the state that we in. Everything that was originally supposed to be under our ruling, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be dying too.
It's Isaiah 29:16. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Isaiah 29:16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay.
That's it. What does Isaiah 5:20 say? You know what I'm saying? Woe unto them that make they call evil good and good evil. You know what I'm saying? The word is so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I prefer to let it come out before me. You know what I'm saying? In my words.
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. It says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
That's really all that Esau do in this world. You know what I'm saying? That's that he making it, as the brother Sean said this past week. You know what I'm saying? He making it a cool thing to be. You know what I'm saying? To have leprosy. You know what I'm saying? To have all these things that's not good for you. You know what I'm saying? That the Lord put on our people specifically. You know what I'm saying? To have you realize you're doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? You need to wake the fuck up.
Isaiah 5:21. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight.
What does Proverbs 3:5 say? Trust the Lord with, you know what I'm saying, with all thy heart, thy mind, and lean not on thy own understanding. You know what I'm saying? That's it. He lets you know in Psalms 50 and verse 16 that Esau going to do the exact opposite. And that's exactly what that is. You know what I'm saying? He's going to take the word and put it behind his back. That's why you got to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord lets you build up, you know what I'm saying, that track record, you know what I'm saying? Build up everything that you got for it to come back and, you know what I'm saying, and hit you.
If I can add too real quick, brother. Basically, brother made a good point. Like yeah, Esau, he's trying to make things the Lord created to be a sign that you're going off and something wrong, cool, which is leprosy. And that's proven when you go to, I think that's, what's that, Matthew 12 and 1, St. John 12 and 1, when when they asked Yahushua why was this child born blind, who did sin? You know what I'm saying? Them were his parents. You know what I'm saying? But, so that's just proof. These particular effects that happen to people are outright penalties. Like a flag being thrown in football, if you will, by the Heavenly Father. The flag being thrown in football is the referee letting you know you did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? So that's the equivalent of somebody leprous, you know, somebody born like a Siamese twin, you know what I'm saying? That's it.
Isaiah 5:24 says, therefore, as the fire devoured the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust. because they have cast away the law of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel.
Yeah, that's why in that point off, that was back in the brother up. And that was them doing that. That stopped you from knowing that. But if you would open the Bible, which really simply just listen to us, you see what I'm saying? Follow the elder apostles on down, you see what I'm saying? You will see that, yeah, the so-called white man is lying to you, and he needs to be destroyed. Because the Lord is clearly telling me I'm going off. Ain't nothing cool about leprosy. You know? Why he gonna be destroyed, man?
The scripture that they say, Father had not chastised me, and I love you, if you paraphrase it. You know what I'm saying? The Lord talked about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got ultimately look at it in a plain way. You know what I'm saying? When your kid go walk, do something he's not supposed to do, what you gonna do? You gonna discipline him. You know what I'm saying? That's the Lord disciplines his kid. Like, yo, he went off, you know what I'm saying? Take this. You know what I'm saying? If you're not taking heed to it, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, that means he got to discipline you more until you get it. You know what I'm saying? And that's ultimately why we in the position that we're in now. You know, our people on a grand scale went the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my words. You know what I'm saying? We went off and we weren't doing what the Lord asked us to do. You know what I'm saying? You read that, you know what I'm saying, upon the curses, you know what I'm saying? We was told to do something and we ain't do it. Which led to us having to do the shit that we gotta do it now. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody can have a cool 1 and 5. Start at, just read verse 3.
Habakkuk 1 and verse 3. Why dost thou shew me iniquity, and cause me to behold grievousness? Grievous. For spoiling and violence are before me. And therefore are that raised of strife and contention.
You in Habakkuk? Or Haggai? That's good. That's a good one. Get Haggai.
That's the spirit, because I was thinking, when you said Habakkuk, I was thinking Haggai.
Yeah, that's good. Lord wants that to come out. That's literally what he's going into. That's Jake asking why. Why is this happening? Jake don't know because Esau lied to him. You know, that's like you a coach, you trying to win, and you keep getting flags thrown, and you know, that's however many yards, depending on what it is. But someone's closing your eyes and ears every time they throw the flag. If they throw the flag, and they say after it's over with, they let the coach and the coach's eyes and the coach's ears go, and every time he look up, right, he back 5 yards. They back another 10 yards. They back another. You like, what the fuck? How's this happening? You know what I'm saying? That's you know, that's through the, you know, a fucking deceiver by you, man. You know, and that's and it would be the so-called white man. You got it.
That's that. So back to brother up too. What the brother Bar had done earlier, had us bring out earlier was the scripture pertaining to him being that bloody and deceitful man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord ain't called deceitful for no reason. You know what I'm saying? The Lord even said, never trust thy enemy. You know what I'm saying? Why? You know what I'm saying? The whole book tell you why. You know what I'm saying?
Haggai 1 and 3. Then came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet, saying, is it time for you, O ye?
Jump to 5, verse 5.
Haggai 1 and 5. Now therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts, consider your ways.
That's it.
I'll speak on this real quick too. You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what our people aren't doing. You know what I'm saying? The brother made a beautiful lesson going into the peons. You know what I'm saying? and the trace of what not to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Jake don't consider their ways. You know what I'm saying? And this me watching. You know what I'm saying? I'm considering my ways and making sure I ain't on some shit. You know what I'm saying? I had to, you know what I'm saying, get the screwdriver, we can start, you know what I'm saying, tighten it back up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's it. Jake ain't even gonna, he not even gonna think to grab the screwdriver. He just gonna look at this, you know what I'm saying, the screw just leave it. Just wait till the, you know what I'm saying, the door come off or something. You know what I'm saying, come off the hinges. You know what I mean? Like, our people don't consider their ways. You know what I'm saying? You know, examine ourselves diligently. You know what I'm saying?
Not going into slavery. Damn devils.
And that's the main issue with our people. You know what I'm saying? That's that the Lord basically whipping us. You know what I'm saying? And we not seeing what we did wrong. You know what I mean? He got the men of the Lord, you know what I'm saying? The prophets, you know what I'm saying? The elder apostles, you know what I'm saying, on down, you know what I'm saying? Those faithful men out here, you know what I'm saying, in front of you, telling you what you did wrong. You know what I'm saying? And they're still not listening. So it's like basically what the Lord seeing now is like, all right, I just gotta give you the ultimate, you know what I'm saying, the ultimate whooping. Go ahead.
On the furtherance of the point of the Lord wanting us to, like, simply just consider it. Malachi chapter 1 and 2, it says, I have loved you, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It says, yet ye say, where hast thou loved us? So this Israel, in their thought process, like the Lord don't love us, but we never considered, you know? Right. Can't say we, but ultimately,
yeah, that's true.
You know, the nation at a point, they're not considering the Lord completely loved you. And the Lord answered, he says, was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, yet I love Jacob. You know, so the Lord pretty much is calling us to consider this. The Lord chose Jacob. Yeah, we in the most effed up state right now, but that was ultimately because of our not holding down what we were supposed to do. The Lord said, I love you, man.
I said, what's beautiful about that scripture too, you know what I'm saying, where it says, and we say, wherein has thou loved us? That's a trait that Esau pushes in this society too. You know what I'm saying? Kids not to consider, just be hating. You know what I'm saying? You see that with all the movies Esau be making. You know what I'm saying? With these so-called white kids, you know what I'm saying? Hate their parents and shit. Fuck you, dad. You know what I'm saying?
Let me say this real quick about it. You know, you ask, wherein hast thou loved us? Well, look at the Lord doing to America. So clearly somebody love us.
Right. Exactly. In the end. Where 2 Ezra 69 say?
You know, if I could, real quick, you would consider that if you love this place.
Yep.
If you in this place, if you've been devoured. You know, if you in the bowels of this place, the digestive system of this place.
If you see this place oppressing you, and you see it simultaneously being destroyed, you know, miraculously, you should clearly see the love of the Lord right there. Somebody love us then.
That's right.
This place clearly oppressing us. So for to see it getting destroyed in all its might, you know what I'm saying? After all this oppressing of us, hey, something love us. You know?
And seeing all these supernatural events that's been happening, you know what I'm saying? Like that one video that you posted where it's like they pulled Esau out of the plane before the train hit him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that's you can't say that's not supernatural. You know what I'm saying? Because that's it. When do you see that? You know what I'm saying? That's it. Esau pride himself being in the clouds. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's it. The Lord literally took. You know what I'm saying? Knocked them motherfucker out of the sky. You know what I'm saying? That's like the scene from Hancock. You know what I'm saying? When the Edomite got stuck. You know what I'm saying? In traffic on the train tracks. You know what I'm saying? The train coming, he had to come and save him. You know what I mean? Ultimately, there ain't gonna be no saving for you. You know what I'm saying?
Train can't save me, no ass.
Right.
Not at all. Jake can't save you. See, that's not imagination. Jake not about to save you. If I could, keep reading them.
Jake,
Sorry.
superpowers. Fuck out of here.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
They want to help the so-called white man.
Right. That's lucky too.
Why everybody hate him though?
Right. I'm saying that's so spiritual too, because that movie is literally like actual epitome of Jake.
Jake, yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because we literally superheroes. You know what I'm saying? We could do. I said what they say in Genesis 25. You know what I'm saying? I said one should be stronger than the other. You know what I'm saying?
You just ain't know your stuff.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? I said we call Jacob. You know what I'm saying? Because we know how to supplant. You know what I'm saying? We know how to be on our stuff how we need to. You know what I'm saying?
If I can add to the point about the getting God and everything, power, but don't know. Paraphrase the scripture. Ye are gods, but you're God like men.
Maybe that Jake don't know. Because then we're like Hancock this month.
Right.
Jake just like Hancock aren't on that
They
shit.
just off. They bugged out. Well, not on these shit. Well, it's not about life.
Look at that nigga hot before he was in prison.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna start the ball. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, imagination.
And then they hate on him because he he got the gift, but he not doing nothing with it. Like he just doing whatever.
Right.
He saw looking at us like, man, they're the special people. They don't know anything and they just want to, act like niggas and do this dumb stuff out here. But those are chosen, those are God.
It come down to that for Jake. Like Jake, you either in God mode or you in Esau mode, or you just are lost.
Peon.
Yeah, peons. Like simply put,
Peon, man.
it's a few modes you could be in, man. If you're not in God mode, and doing this, abounding knowledge and wisdom, understanding who you are, willing to sacrifice your time, your whatever it might be to come do it, to be in reality, you're not worth it, man.
See, nigga out here. I mean, he ain't looking for that. That's a peon right there. More than likely.
Yeah, more than likely.
That's the epitome. Just look at him. His back come up, laying on his stomach and shit. You don't want me doing shit like that. You feel like a peon. You know what I'm saying? Being in the truth. Like, man, no, for real.
That's a real thing. That's a real thing, bro.
But shit, this shit.
It's like almost
Shit
like
that's cool has been regularized, if you will, by so many regular ass people.
Exactly.
To where it's like, even shit that's okay is like off.
Right.
Just because it's so common among these motherfuckers.
Exactly. That's it. That's crazy too, because the Lord said to not to paraphrase, you know what I'm saying, remove thyself from profane and vain deeds, you know what I'm saying, because it increase onto ungodliness. So it's almost like you see like you must get lost in the sauce basically with that. And you ain't trying to get there. You know what I'm saying? Doing those like things, though it ain't going on, but those things can lead to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's basically making sure you're not falling into excess. You know what I'm saying? That you keep it sufficient.
Like niggas that work jobs. Going into that lesson. Like, yeah, without those people that stand in the world, they maintain. But that ain't to say, so yeah, you can't knock it. You know what I'm saying? It has its use. So it ain't to say you will be wrong for being a worker or, you know what I'm saying, having a craft, if you will, or some shit like that. But it's just how, like the brother said, and of course Satan gonna come and block the message. That's how you know. Because what's that? That's act. That's adversity. A message trying to be brought out. You trying to push a lesson out. And shit stopping you. It's something that needs to be heard. It's something key. But point being, it's just certain things that's cool. It's just how you can do. It's just how, like the brother said, how you go about it, man.
I got a scripture. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and 12, it says, all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. It says all things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any.
Yeah, that's like being under the influence, man. What you got?
Read that last one. Read that last one.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians 6 and 12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient.
say right there, that's a, what does it say in Ecclesiastes? You know what I'm saying? There's a time, time and place for every
season.
the water. A time and season for every, you know what I'm saying? Every purpose under the sun. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're supposed to examine ourselves so that way we know what times and what seasons are best for us. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously right now, this ain't the time to really be trying to grow things. You know what I'm saying? Because it's cold as, you know what I'm saying? Things gonna die. That's why you see all the, you know what I'm saying? None of the trees have the true light on them. You know what I'm saying? Because the light is the life. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about this bullshit on the trees. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, but to the point, you know what I mean? I say you gotta examine, you know what I'm saying, consider, you know what I'm saying, even the brother at the World War had brought that out, you know what I'm saying, in his lesson, which was a beautiful lesson too. You know what I'm saying, being about our father's business. You know what I mean? This is all part of that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta examine everything. Keep going on that.
Yeah, Khan, it says, all things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of anyone.
And I say to that, you know what I'm saying, having the ability to not be brought, you know what I'm saying, under the power of something else is like that Psalms 82:6, you know what I'm saying, you're like gods. You know what I'm saying? That's a being in the truth, being in that God state. You know what I'm saying? We like haircut, but we not drunk. You know what I'm saying? We about our business. You know what I mean? So that's that, us being in that God state, we can't let anything, you know what I'm saying, have power over us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And it's due to add real quick. It's due to what we don't indulge in. You being in a God state is due to what, it's really due to what you're not indulging in. That's the certain shit that you may be is the reason why you would die like that man.
It says Titus 2:12, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we shall live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world. That was the third precept of what he said about what we're not doing, you know, what makes us gods and not down like men. Because, you know, it says, paraphrasing, death is followed, you know, is sin and then follows his death. So, you know, if you ever sin, then you never die. And then if you never die, then what are you? You die.
And that's beautiful too, because what the Lord says, that's a he that loses life shall find it, he that finds life shall lose it. You know what I'm saying?
You damn Moabites going, you damn so-called Chinese people, y'all going into slavery, man. You damn Moabites. Cause y'all going into slavery for what y'all did, man. You know? Y'all coming to damn America and reap the benefits off the blood, sweat, and tears of the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Y'all getting ready to go into slavery.
Don't say it the Bible.
Like the brother said, man. Cause y'all gotta drink. Oh, drink up. Let these niggas know, man. Okay?
This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2. It says, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season.
Yeah.
All right? Yeah, no, you know the reason I got that is because it's always in season to be in the word. It's always in season. It's not a dry season for this to be real, you know? So, again, you see as we instant in season, we here all year round. You know what I'm saying? But it says reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. You know, and this is on the coming of God's level, like the thinking, the thought process of that. That's putting off certain things and not considering certain things that are going to take us away from being gods. It says, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned into fables. So ultimately, that's what happens to those who don't get this word, who don't receive it, those who, you know, take a step out the doctrine, man. The second you do that, you subject should not be in the God. It's a death. You got it, brother.
That's beautiful.
1 Timothy 4, verse 13. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine.
That's exactly what we need to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're not doing that, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna die. Ultimately, you know what I'm saying? It's the brother had made a beautiful lesson too, killing demons. You know what I'm saying? That's a you being in the word is gonna allow you to be able to cut yourself, which ultimately cutting that demon to where that demon can't fuck with you no more. You know what I'm saying?
It says, next verse, it says, neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophet, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery.
Presbyterian. That's what.
With the laying on the hands of the presbytery.
That's the men that taught you. The elders. I'm saying the elder brothers, the elder apostles on down, the elder brothers. You know. Then you got some younger men that's taught elder brothers. You see what I'm saying? But for real. You got old men that's in camps under young men. You know?
No, I'm saying what you said. You said elder. You said younger men that are in camps over younger men.
Elder men that are in camps under younger men. Yeah, I think I said that before. I think I probably said that. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And ultimately, you know what I'm saying, having brothers like that, you know what I'm saying, that is a gift. You know what I'm saying? To have a brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? You know, to go back to again, you know, another lesson that the brother had made, you know what I'm saying, the seriousness of the brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? I was watching that earlier today. You know, that's what the brother said, that's milk, you know what I'm saying, coming into this. And ultimately you got to understand that before you know what I'm saying, really get into anything else, you know what I'm saying? Like truly understanding that the Lord put specific men, you know what I'm saying, in your presence to help you come back to life. You know what I'm saying? To help you bear fruit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the Father's business. You know what I'm saying? That's our Father's business. To bear fruit, you know what I'm saying, and to continue to do so. You know what I'm saying? Because that's life. You know what I'm saying? Bearing is give you life. You know what I'm saying? Is that it? Is that the
And what the Lord's doing, he's teaching you. He's teaching you humbleness, man. You know, you got men that just can't fall in, you know, in order with that shit for whatever goddamn reason. It don't make no goddamn sense. And that's gonna be your fault. Because what happens when pride? You know?
Pride goes before destruction.
Yeah, and then what else? When you're the opposite. Well, it says honor goes before, or humility goes before honor. You see? Humility goes into humbleness, man. So the Lord put us in a real humble thing, if you will. The elder apostle Gabar, he said, this thing of ours. Proud nigga ain't gonna last in this, man. You ain't gonna last. And the reason why the Lord needs you humble when he puts men over you, under you, whatever the hell, order, a certain sequence or whatever, is ultimately to prepare you for who you could be in the kingdom. Your house not gonna be over you. You see what I'm saying? So he's getting you used to that idea now. You gotta fucking chill. Because these men don't even, man, they're pieces of your house shot, you know? How can think about that shit? Like, man, your house shot, man. Imagine you gotta know how to move to be around your house shot, you know? You think he gonna have simple niggas around him? Hell no. You know?
Again,
you got it, brother.
Go back to the account where your house had asked, you know what I'm saying? Why come this out there not having, you know what I'm saying, wedding government on?
Yep. And that goes into what? No, not probably a bunch of other things.
Right.
But one of those things is traits. You see what I'm saying? You got it, brother.
Fine, because ultimately, you know what I'm saying, that's that where your mind at, you know what I'm saying? And really I'll say, when you hear like certain countries in the scriptures, when they talk about clothing, they really talk about, you know what I'm saying, your mind. You know what I'm saying, where your mind's at. You know what I'm saying? Going back into Genesis and multiple other accounts too. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately.
How your clothes goes into what? How you style. What you choose to put on. You know, what you put with what. You know what I'm saying?
Ultimately, that's what decisions you're making, you know what I'm saying, in certain situations. So,
how did you choose? What attitude you choose to put with this moment? You know what I'm saying? Or this response. That's like putting the outfit together. You know? So yeah, that's it. You got anything else, bro? You got it, bro.
1 Timothy 4, verse 15. Meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them. For in
I just want to make one point. It says, that thy property may appear unto all. You know what I'm saying? That's the bearing of the fruit to be able to, you know what I'm saying, to be given to other brothers to bear more fruit. You know what I'm saying? That's John 15 and 16. You know what I'm saying? That's that you roughly paraphrasing. You know what I'm saying? That your fruit shall remain. You know what I'm saying? Just maintaining it. You know what I'm saying? Maintaining it is ultimately. You know what I'm saying? Continue to bear it. You know what I'm saying?
Fruits get ate.
To be consumed.
1 Timothy 4:16. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue with them, for in doing this thou shalt save both thyself and them that hear thee.
It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, you know what I'm saying? The Lord said to keep it plain. You know what I'm saying? And it's plain. You know what I'm saying? That's it. The more you stay in this doctrine, the more that you're reading, you know what I'm saying? The more that you take the heed, the more that you're applying, you know what I'm saying? And examining that something to apply, the more you're going to save yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Get diligence to make a call in the next sure.
You gotta mean what? You gotta be just like those that will be elected.
Because the accounts that we read, you know what I'm saying, the men that we read about, you know what I'm saying, they gave that diligence. You know what I'm saying? They asked me of the elect. You know what I'm saying? Those specific prophets, you know what I'm saying, those men that were with those prophets, you know what I'm saying, those set apostles, you know. Those are all prime examples of how we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to be moving, you know what I'm saying, what we're supposed to be doing. That's it.
And scripture where it says, take heed of thyself and of doctrine. And it says continuing, you know, that diligence, realize you got to, it's a continuation. You know, it's not something you do 1 second, one time, and you're done with it. It's a constant build in this thing. It's a constant build. It's a constant being amongst brothers in the same mindset. You know, it's a constant wearing the right outfit, you know, if you will, being fashioned the correct way. Continuing it. You know?
Yeah, scripture say he that endure to the end shall be saved. You know, so back all the brothers' points up. So all of this continuing in it until this shit over. Alright, so with that, we've been edified. We say all honor, praise, and glory to the Father, and
Yahweh, Yahweh,
all right, with that we say shalom.
Shalom.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.